Alright, what's going on, everybody? Minutes with Mellon. Take long videos, make them shorter. So we're just going to start burrowing right away. Let's burrow. There's been a lot happening this week. A lot. Jesse
Choo-choo! Board the Trump train.
Breaks down everything that's going on throughout the week. Did a really good job. I'll just share the link. You guys can check out the video if you want, but I ain't gonna play it again. These videos are for me to try to remember all the fucked up shit that's happened. Oh yeah, that guy. They found the killer, finally. For the health CEO. And Anthony, what's his name? Blinkin, the Secretary of State. He's pretty much one of the ones running the fucking country. They're talking to him about the Afghanistan withdrawal. Like, wait, what? You're just now getting around to that? That was back in February of 2020. You're just now talking to him about that? Holy shit. I mean, the government moves slow, but damn. That's like glacier speed. Trump won Man of the Year, according to Time magazine. It was actually pretty funny. He put out a post. That was his mugshot, and then Time Man of the Year. Went from this to this. Pretty funny. But here's he did a press interview, and this is like his final spiel.
I want to ask you, sir, one final question. What do you want to say to Americans who didn't support you in this campaign?
I'm going to treat you every bit as well as I have treated the greatest MAGA supporters. There's never been anything like MAGA in the history of this country. These people are so dedicated to making America great again. It's very simple. And I'm going to treat them just the same as I treat MAGA. We're going to treat everybody good. We want success for our country. We want safety for our country. You know, our country's under threat, as you know. We have a tremendous threat militarily because of the power of weapons and weaponry. It's a tremendous threat. Nobody talks about it, but it's a tremendous threat. I want to treat everybody the same. I want to treat them well. And at the end of this 4 years, I have a big head start because I was there for 4 years fairly recently. A lot of bad things were done during the 4 years that I wasn't there, and mostly in what they've done in terms of our reputation overseas. Our reputation is so bad, so shot. I got to bring it back, and I also have to bring back civilization to our country. Our country is a crime pot. And we have to get rid of crime. We have so many things to do. We have to do the prices. We have to do all of that. But we have to get the criminals out of our country. We have to bring down crime. People have to be able to walk across the street and buy a loaf of bread without being shot. And that's going to happen. But what I say to them is, I love you, and we're going to all work together. And we're going to bring it together. And you know what's going to bring it together? Success. I saw that just prior to COVID coming in. I had polls that were the highest anyone. McLaughlin and Fabrizio said George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, if they came back from the dead and they ran as president and vice president, couldn't beat you, sir. We were doing so well. And I was getting along with the left. Let's call it the left. We'll be nice. Okay, we're just going to call it. But I was getting along with people that you would consider liberal or progressive, as they like to say, at levels that I never thought was possible. And you know what it was? Success. Success was bringing the country together, and that's what I want to do.
Hi, I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the cash for kids.
And then this guy, this shit is just fucking hilarious. So the Postmaster General, They're talking about
services rendered right now. I know you know that we dropped below 40% on time, and we're now up to 75%, which is kind of an achievement, but nowhere close to where we need to be. My personal experience in the last year is I had 2 certified letters, one to me from my tax returns from 2 miles away, certified. It took 4 months and a congressional inquiry to make it to my house. 4 months, certified. The other one, I sent a letter to approximately 11 miles away to an address I've sent plenty of things to. I certified it because I was worried about it. Worried about it because that is a check made out to somebody else, certified. The due date came and went. I went down to the post office, asked, where's my letter? They didn't know. And then when it finally came back to me as undeliverable to this address, which they can't explain still, I got charged $6 for a letter to be certified that couldn't be delivered. And there's no explanation. When I asked to see management so they can explain it to me, they didn't have time for me. I came back later, I said, can I speak to them as a congressman to try to help them fix this problem? You know what the response was? We don't have time. I'm glad you took time to be with me today, because I want to address this from a personal and a non-personal issue. When you talk about the future of the post office, I used to, as a little kid, literally say the post office is the one part of the government that I trust. On-time deliveries, they don't lose stuff. In the last 4 years, your reputation has destroyed that. On your watch. Destroyed that. Businesses, almost every single business I know that wants to send a check out won't use the U.S. Postal Service anymore. I won't use the U.S. Postal Service anymore. That's on your watch. The 2 major decisions I've seen you make, which is on the distribution centers and on employee hiring, have done nothing to mitigate this in real-time ways. I don't understand why you give yourself an A grade, as you just stated, when it comes to the delivery. We have, I want to read this into the record, Mr. Chair. This is a letter from the entire Georgia delegation.
Without objection, so ordered.
Thank you. And your response, which I appreciate the response from your staff. But when you talk about, I went down and talked to, well, I tried to talk to my local postmaster, couldn't get a hold of him, even when I stood there and said, just tell me when I can, I'll leave my number. Have him call me back. Never called me back. That's your environment that you've fostered in Georgia and other places in the country. And it's not isolated to just Georgia either, by the way. I know businesses in California that will not use the U.S. Postal Service because of theft, real-time theft. It's never been, your reputation is done. Whether you admit it or not, in the military, if I have a skipper who things are going bad for, they're a good military officer, but you know what we do when things go wrong repeatedly? We relieve them. You know what you do when a CEO repeatedly fails and the business model falls apart and nobody wants to use that business anymore and it becomes non-profitable? You fire them. You know what we do in government when organizations fail over and over and over again and become unaccountable and are not going the right direction and have actually ruined the very business model that you seem to hold as a standard? Because you're not going to expand Postal Service when you have a reputation for not delivering on time, not keeping the mail accountable on your watch. You, sir, do not get an A grade. You cannot give yourself that grade.
I just did.
You can't. You can't grade your own paper, sir. I've been to medical school.
Well, then,
I got my MBA. You can't. I'm sorry. You are graded by the United States people, and they don't use your service anymore. You bankrupt.
that is not true.
You
That is
bankrupt
not
this
true,
through
sir.
your
My
reputation
business is
only.
growing.
Through your
Our
reputation,
business is growing.
you are responsible for the fall of the Postal Service
No,
and the
this
lack of
Congress,
accountability.
This Congress is responsible for
doesn't-
all of the Postal
so it's
Service.
Congress's-
I am trying to fix
On your
the Postal
watch,
Service.
with all the AI.
Before my watch, the same stuff
With
happened.
all
worse.
the AI, with all the computer systems, you're worse than if I took
You're
a
talking
horse
to yourself.
and picked up the mail and delivered it 2 miles down the road. That's you. I hope you got that on camera. This is the response that the postmaster just gave Congress when he doesn't like what he hears. Literally covered his ears and gave himself the grade of A. And with that, sir, I rest.
Oh shit, that was funny. And then This is that Daniel Penny case, the dude that strangled the guy on the subway. And just because one person's white and one person's black, they just have to make it about race. Fucking stupid.
Care CEO being hailed in similar terms.
Yeah, let me just help you understand. If you're on the American left tonight, here's my chart. The good guys today, Daniel Penny. The bad guys, Luigi Mangione. It seems to me.
How do you?
Everybody
what's
on the
the
left.
chart for victims?
I'm just telling you what I see out in the world.
I know.
Today.
I
What
just want
see
you to
out in
finish
world
the
today.
chart. Which victim
what's my
is
chart?
good
You
and
can make your
victim
own
is
chart.
bad.
What I'm telling you is
That's not on the second page?
People on the left. People on the left
Scott,
can't seem to tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys.
People on the left. I'm asking you whether you consider this person.
We had people praising
I want
Luigi
to know
and
whether
attacking
you
Penny.
think that,
one is good,
as
one
Congressman
is not.
Crane does, that Daniel Penny should get the Congressional Gold Medal to recognize his heroism. I'm not asking you about anyone.
I think he ought to get medal. I think they ought to build a statue to this guy in New York City.
I think that race, I think that, and I'm going to say it. I'm going to say the dreaded R word. Race plays a role in this, right? And so
No, it doesn't. You make it play a role.
we see
Does
it.
it?
Yes, absolutely, because statistics say that.
Wasn't there a
That's sad. But yeah, he goes on and just rips them, makes them look stupid as fuck. It's pretty fun. What else happened? United States, ground zero for trafficking. Some phone call leaked of Jay-Z and Diddy, but I don't know, it's fucking stupid. Republicans make fun of Democrats more and more. This lady's like catching all sorts of shit for saying she's joyous for the murder of the CEO. Pretty funny. That everything backfired on her. That's what you get for being a liberal Democrat. Piece of shit. Hawley's still just ripping people left and right on illegal immigration. Oh, what else happened? God, that was funny. Oh. Christopher Wray resigns. Right after all these documents leak about January 6th, and about how they had informants in the crowd. Go fucking figure. This is another guy that made Blinkin basically said, you lied in a congressional hearing. And they're secretly trying to sabotage every single one of Trump's picks. And there's a shit ton of drones flying over New Jersey. And the one guy said that they're Irans. Like, what? Shut the fuck up. He just wants to go to war with Iran. That's all it is. And this photo, this is actually...
So I came across this on one of the Facebook groups that's tracking on the drones. And there's a professional photographer here named Nancy, and they took a picture that was open. It's 1:30. So to have this come out from one of those orbs, high speed, of a second.
1:30.
So
Pretty fast. 600 millimeter.
like from far away.
That's what it looks like, yeah. So
Another one.
that's the camera.
And then yeah.
Makes sense.
I do not know what to say about this.
Far away.
The person didn't.
I don't know. That's just weird. I just thought that was weird. Drones are not from Iran or any other country. A lot more people just grilled Blinkin because he's fucked up so many things. But a lot of it's just about the Afghan withdrawal and everything else he's fucked up. So much drone shit. That's a farce and a complete lie. About the what?
Yeah. We've gotten
How many did you personally rescue, sir? None, correct? So don't try and talk to me about ground truth. You couldn't even control what was happening in Afghanistan. Yeah, how many Americans did you rescue, sir?
Yeah. We've gotten
how many did you personally rescue, sir? None, correct? So don't try and talk to me about ground truth. You couldn't even control what was happening in Afghanistan. Let's start there. The next thing I want to talk about is under your leadership, we have allowed Iran, the regime, to grow stronger than it's ever in its life. I'll give you some facts here. The Energy Information Agency said that Iran petroleum exports in Iran sold $144 billion in the first 3 years of your administration. Now, why is that number important? Well, because that is $100 billion more than what was permitted in the full 2 years of the Trump administration.
That's fucking crazy. $50 drones coming out. Drones coming out.
Former Governor Larry Hogan shot this video last night. These lights over his hometown in Davidsonville, just 25 miles from federal authorities, insist most of these sightings are actually legally manned aircraft. Airport, too, officials say they received unconfirmed. Then there's been an average of 92 sightings per, or that they have a foreign nexus. Lawmakers, however, aren't buying it.
I seeing. We're here in central Jersey. We've been looking for the past hour. I think we've seen about 40 or 50 of these drones. In fact, there's one over my shoulder right there. One after another, these drones appeared in the night sky. If you look real close, they look like fixed-wing aircraft, about 8 to 10 feet wide, colorful, white blinking lights.
That is not a plane.
Definitely not an airplane, but what was it? Hours earlier, I was invited to join the Ocean County Sheriff Department. They launched their own drones to see if they could intercept the mysterious aircraft New Jersey residents have been reporting in recent weeks. The department says these mystery drones evade detection because they don't give off heat like regular drones. Why do you think that is?
We don't know. It's just something that we haven't, it's not something that we've had our hands on. It's not something that we've experienced.
Something they hadn't experienced until now. One of their officers called 911 after seeing 50 of them come off the ocean.
Advised after we made contact with that officer that there were 50 that came off the ocean.
50?
50. That was my reaction also. There were 50 that were coming off the ocean.
And this is a sworn officer?
A sworn officer, yes. We contacted state police, we contacted the FBI, we contacted the Coast Guard, at which point the Coast Guard went out with their boat and they reported seeing 13 following their boat. And then the Coast Guard also advised that they went over them about 300 feet and had a wingspan of about 8 feet.
I see one right here. Did I see the same thing that officer saw? I'm still not sure. What I can show you is this video. What I can tell you is I've never seen anything like it before. Wow. In more than a month since these reports started, the federal government doesn't know what they are either. What's your message to the White House?
My message: come to the Jersey Shore. I know it's wintertime, but come see what we see, and then, maybe have a better appreciation for why our residents are concerned.
Yeah, so that's all the drones going on. Trump Time Person of the Year. Lied about January 6th and the Russia hoax to hurt Trump. What else? So much UFO shit is going on right now.
First-hand accounts of seeing the drones over New Jersey. These things appear to be about the size of a small car.
That's nuts. Calling him an idiot. Oh, that's funny. They're rebranding Al Qaeda. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Quantum computer just came out with a new chip called Willow for Google. Why the U.S. is giving what? Taliban millions in taxpayer dollars. Oh, probably because they're trying to start a fucking war that'll last forever. Go figure. Suspend all mRNA vaccines. Demands thousands of doctors. That's how bad that fucking vaccine is for you. It's not a vaccine because it doesn't fucking cure anything. K-Man's under investigation for saying men can't breastfeed. I'm so stupid, I don't even want to click on it. This will be the last thing. Ooh, I should throw in the Robin Williams stand-up. I think I'll link it just for historical purposes.
Mr. Speaker, we often hear the term here in the House and throughout our country, country before party. It's clear we didn't hear that here yet today on the other side of the aisle. With that, I would ask to yield such time as he may consume to the chairman of the full committee, the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan.
The gentleman from Ohio is recognized.
Thank you. I thank the gentleman for yielding. Think about their argument. Their argument's real simple. We can't do it now because Trump won. We got to wait 4 years to fix something everyone knows needs to be addressed, but we can't do that. We got to wait 4 years because we don't like what the people chose. I mean, the people spoke loudly and clearly. President Trump won all 7 swing states. He won 30 of the 50 states. He won the popular vote. Well, can't do what the people want. Even though we haven't addressed this in 20 years, 50 million increase in population in our country, hundreds of thousands of pending civil cases. Judicial Conference says we need it. Came out of the Senate unanimously, but nope, can't do it. Trump won. That's their argument. The people spoke. And by the way, this bill is designed as fair as possible. What the chairman did, great work on this. 66 judgeships over the next 10 years. That'd be 3 different presidents are going to get a weigh in on this. 6 different Congresses are going to be in session over that time frame. In the first batch, I think California, I think your state gets 7. Half of the first batch, 20-some, 22, 25 of the first judges that President Trump would get to appoint come from states where both senators are Democrats. You can't do it any more fair. They just don't like what the people did. They don't like what the American people did. That's their argument. So I say we pass this thing. We address a situation that everyone knows needs addressed. We need more judges. Everyone understands that. Bipartisan. When the Judicial Conference came around, there were judges who Republican, Democrat, they all came. They all were for it. They didn't say we don't like what the people did. They said let's just fix what needs to be fixed in our judicial system. This is a good piece of legislation.
Yeah, that's how fucked up the Democrat Party is. Crazy. But yeah.
Hi, I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about the Cash for Kids scandal, Kids for Cash.
Yeah. The scandal in general, or what?
Well, specifically about the recently, yesterday, President Biden issued a list of people who were
their commutations.
Commutations, thank you, and so one of the judges involved in that.
But yeah, it's getting close to 25 minutes, so I'm probably gonna have to cut this one. There's just so much stupid shit going on. Oh, that was a good one. Damn, that was a good one.
I personally, and other members, we got 4 busloads of girls at the American School of Music out
4 years
after Abbeygate, who are now in Portugal. They performed at Carnegie Hall and the Kennedy Center. But Mr. Secretary, in September,
basically it's just like, you suck. and here's why. What do you got to say? All right, Joe.